Hey there. This is Chuck at Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, January 13th, 2025. There's a lot to talk about, all the fires, the chaos we've been going through here in Los Angeles. I had my electricity off for 3 days. But anyway, this is my dear friend Anastasia Pavlov, who's been here many times before. I'm not going to be able to do a show today at 5 o'clock. This is just a little announcement to let you know we've had a little bit of an emergency here. I don't know if you want to talk about it, or we should just call it an emergency and leave it at that.
A snafu emergency.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sasha's going through my
Yeah.
stuff right now. My car was just towed from outside Chuck's house.
And I need to drive her to downtown LA so we can get her car. So what I will try to do is I can't tomorrow because I'm doing the Oracle of Whimsy, Dr. Whimsy Anderson's show, Taco Tuesdays. So maybe Wednesday or Thursday, I will come on and do a makeup broadcast because I know you all want to hear about what's been, Sasha, my cat, you all want to hear what's been going on here in Los Angeles. And that's assuming my home hasn't burned down on Wednesday or Thursday. I know, God.
No, it's
And
all right.
assuming I have electricity, so I have Wi-Fi, which I didn't have for a few days last week. It's just been
a lot.
This week has been a ride.
And I was also in the middle of the Sunset Fire. I'm grateful I was only about 2 blocks southeast of the mandatory evacuation zone. But I worked somewhere where we were in the absolute thick of it. We could actually see the fires in Runyon Canyon from the front doors of where I work. And it's been really terrifying and
it has
disorienting to the extent where, I'd park somewhere where I know I'm not supposed to. And my car gets towed.
We're all on our last nerve right now. It has not been an easy period here in Los Angeles. Usually the news media exaggerates these things. I can tell you this is one time they're very accurate. Unfortunately, it's just as bad as what you've been seeing on the news. Thousands of people have lost their homes. As you can see, I'm still standing, but I was sitting for 3 days with nothing but candles in the dark. And let me tell you, candlelight does not provide that much illumination.
Yes, we've been living in the 19th century.
Yes, we have.
Trying to get back to the
and not in a fun way like that I Love Lucy episode where they decided, remember, that's when Lucy decided to make bread and Ethel decided to churn butter and Lucy made that 13-foot loaf of bread as a result because she put too much yeast in it. Nothing like that. I was just trying to keep my cat from knocking candles over and burning my home down
before the fires could get to it.
So we're trying to make the best of a situation right now, and my loyalty is to my best friend here, and we want to get her car back and
thank you,
make things best. So I just wanted to go on here for a few minutes to tell you why there will not be a show at 5, but I will do my heartfelt best to do something later in the week. And I can see nobody's joining right now because nobody knows I was going to go on at 4:37, but I hope this is going to show up in the feed. And again, all of you who join me on a regular basis, I value you all. And that's why I wanted to get a notice on here. And I just thank you. And if I do something later in the week, I'll do my best to put a notice up so you'll know, and we'll make it up. And you can ask me all the questions you want about the fire.
Yeah.
So,
and also I wanted to show up because it's my fault. It's my fault.
Oh.
But I haven't been out of the house since Sunday. So I've actually not been well, and on top of that, obviously everything's happening and it's quite stressful and upsetting. But we're all standing in solidarity with the rest of the city. What's happened is historic.
It is.
I'm from Los Angeles originally. There's been nothing like this that's ever happened, and it's absolutely devastating. I have a lot of friends who have lost houses, mostly in the Eaton fire in Pasadena and Altadena. This is bringing us together, though. It's actually weaving together community and support in ways I don't think we anticipated. And I always believe that there's a highest outcome for things, even when it's as horrific and tragic as what's happening. Like, for example, even today, like, I don't know why my car had to be towed and I have to spend about $400 right now to get it out of Hawk. Um,
So sorry. This is terrible.
I don't understand, but
Yeah.
I am spending this time with Chuck, and also I wouldn't have been
With
able to
you.
spend this time with
Yes.
you, even though I won't be on your live stream,
Yeah.
later this week. But I mean,
Yeah.
I'm here in the midst of this as
Yeah.
well, and our beloved city, especially
Yeah.
Malibu and the Palisades. It's literally
It's
a war zone.
it's
Been
heartbreaking.
razed.
It's a war zone. Yeah,
It's just ashes and
and it's been
smoldering
frightening. In addition,
dust.
I was inconvenienced. Electricity out. When I look at people who lost their homes, I have no right to complain about anything. But yes, it was not good, and we kept getting warnings on our phones, and
to
then
evacuate.
and one time we got a warning to evacuate. 30 minutes later, they said it was a mistake, but nonetheless, they freaked the hell out of
And
everybody.
then they sent us another one at 4 in the morning. That was a mistake.
Yes,
And
yes.
it blares. It's just,
Oh yeah, exactly.
Wake up, get the heck out of here.
It's not like a little wake up. It's like that alarm. It scares the hell out of you. It's threatening, and I realize how woefully underprepared I've been.
Yeah.
It's a lesson for all of us. Have an emergency kit, but also check your kit. Make sure your batteries are fresh. Make sure your emergency food is not 15 years old, things like that. Your water is not full of mold. I'm hearing stories like that.
And make sure that you also, Chuck and I both have cats, and we both have very particular cats. Mine's missing a leg.
Yeah.
And it's very fat and doesn't move
and mine's
very well.
Just a little Siamese
a
bitch.
maniac.
Yes.
His is a maniac. And like one thing neither of us currently has is like a proper harness or leash,
Well, I do now.
But yeah, our cats are, I have a cat carrier. I think most of us do when we have cats, but he and I don't have the types of cats that are going to get into a carrier well. And actually, we're going to have to wrap this up soon, but I wanted to say one of my friends who has 2 cats and was forced to evacuate in the Sunset Fire, literally they gave them like 30 minutes to just get out. I mean, it was like, get out. And it's basically mandatory evacuation. The hills are on fire. Leave now. And it's an urban area. It's very dense.
Yeah.
And the thing is that everyone was just getting on the roads at the same time.
Gridlock.
I had a friend who had to put 2 cats in carriers and just walk and run down the street to find a way to get out of the area. It was like that. But one of my friends who had 2 cats as well, she did end up in a car and drove somewhere else. But her cats were so terrified and spooked. They literally mauled her. She has scratches and wounds from her beloved kitties who aren't used to getting into cat carriers, let alone at a time like this. So just be mindful that, when it hits, when you have to evacuate, whether it's, I don't know, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, fire, it happens like that. And you don't know what to do. So having something, a little backpack already ready, or having done like a drill, like an emergency drill with your cats to or whatever your pets are.
Very good idea.
Find a way to get them into a harness or into a cat just as easily as possible. It could be, just like we rehearse things for movies. Why can't we rehearse something?
We tend to think, oh, this isn't going to happen to me, but
here it'll be easy to get your cat in a carrier.
And here in Los Angeles, we're an earthquake country, so we should know better. I always thought it was going to be an earthquake that would take out the city, not a blazing ring of fire. But it's just a lesson for everybody. I don't care where you live.
Yeah.
Be prepared. And I see this is going to be the theme. If I do a pickup show later this week, I'll tell you some lessons I've learned and what I'm doing. And I just hope you can hear my cat in the background now. Why I can't put her in a carrier. She's a little Tasmanian devil, this little Siamese princess. I love you, Sasha. But I'll and if you have questions for me, I'll be happy to just let you know anything I know from my experiences here, what I've learned in preparation. Like I know I've got to get a bag packed and everything. It's like we have a little bit of warning right now, but just a little bit, because these Santa Ana winds are supposed to pick up very soon if they're not already.
Yeah, they said Monday through Wednesday.
Yeah, fanning the fires. And plus, we're just having fires start out of nowhere because it's so dry here. And there's no guarantee. We might have a week or 2 and they'll start up again. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I've been here since 1985, and I've She said she's lived here all her life. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, we've had the LA riots, Northridge quakes, and things like that, but I've never seen this. There are major people, major movie stars, famous people have had their mansions or homes just burned to the ground. I say mansions. Some people, it's a myth about stars. They all live in mansions. Some of them actually live in normal homes,
down the street from us.
Yeah, exactly. We have people here living down the street, famous people like Angelina Jolie. Now, she lives in a 32-room mansion, but that's not a good example. But you know what I mean? People like that have lost their homes. About 5,000 people. And it's an unbelievable tragedy. People have been pitching in for each other. My neighbors have been here for me in the most beautiful, heartfelt ways. I saw the other day Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were at Pasadena, and they were handing out food and supplies to people at the Pasadena Convention Center, which is right now being used for shelter for a lot of people who've lost their homes.
Yeah.
So, this is the city of angels, not to bring up anything trite, but it is the city of angels. There are, despite stereotypes a lot of people may have about LA, there are very, very good people here.
Oh, and also the
Yeah.
LA is a city of immigrants and migrants, people
Yeah.
from all around the world and all around the country. So,
Uh-huh.
wherever you're living, folks like you who just decide to move here, they want better weather, more opportunities. My
Yeah.
family fled, from a war-torn genocidal area in the south of Russia to come here,
Yeah.
years ago. But yeah, it's just people from all over, and some, a lot of us get busy in our own heads and our lives,
Yeah.
but this reminds us that we're each other's keeper, we're
Oh,
all
we
each other's
are.
brother and sister,
And
and there has been a lot of love
getting
and
back to basics.
and also keep in mind, people like, oh, the Palisades or Malibu, there are some $20 million estates,
Yeah.
back to back to back in these beautiful, very moneyed areas, and also apartment buildings, and also
Yeah.
normal house, like a lady who bought a
Exactly.
house 50 years ago and still lives there. And it's, and
Yeah.
in theory, it could be one of those $5 to $20 million estates, but
Yeah.
it's just a house that happens to be in an area that
It's
over time
everywhere.
has become really wealthy. But
Yeah.
it's just because there's money in some of these communities, it doesn't mean that everyone is, I know a lot of
Exactly.
folks are like, eat the rich down with the 1%. It's like,
Yeah.
it's not just the so-called 1% or the, we have to turn our nose up to these are especially in Pasadena and Altadena, like the Altadena community, that was an area about 40, 50 years ago for folks, brown folks, black folks, to buy into the market and have their first home,
Yeah.
or even now to be able to buy homes.
Yeah.
And those are the people who are losing their homes. And it's also amid other beautiful estates and properties. But
Mhm.
again, like in the Palisades in Malibu, like there are apartment buildings, there's just normal people,
Yeah.
as well as working people in Hollywood. Even if you
That's
have
right.
a little bit of money in Hollywood, like it's outrageous to live over here.
It is.
If you can even cobble together enough for one house, that's in a nice area like that. Now it's
Yeah.
just ashes, and then there's
Yeah.
God even knows what's going to happen with insurance claims.
Well,
And because it's not possibly a natural disaster, they said it's possibly arson, and then the insurance might not even cover
I
it.
know.
Can you imagine?
Well, another thing, and this has
Jesus.
been on the local news here, because the real estate here is so overinflated,
Yeah.
even people who have insurance can't afford the
Yeah.
full insurance they need.
Yeah.
And so that's coming up. A lot of people are woefully underinsured. And then there are other people actually have had their policies canceled.
Yeah.
There are people, I saw something on the news, like an 82-year-old man. He said, I'm too old to start over again. I can't do this. And other people. And I'm going to throw this out. I'll talk about this again later in the week, but let's not forget the dogs and cats here, our animals, our horses, the wildlife.
Birds, anything.
I had a very dear friend right from back east write me and say she wanted to make a donation to an animal shelter, and she wanted my recommendation. And well, I'm sure there are obviously many others. What came to mind to me immediately was the Pasadena Humane Society shelter. You can look it up, Pasadena Humane. They are presently treating, I think I read, I hope I'm not wrong on this, close to 400 dogs and cats with burn injuries. And I'm sure they would happily take donations if you feel so compelled. And there are plenty of other things and for people. And I understand there are people here just need things like clothing, coats, shoes, underwear, blankets. I'll be better prepared next time. Hopefully I can even list some things where you can send things, donate, and so forth, if you so wish. There are a lot of people in need right now, and we're here for each other. And anything you'd like to add before we sign off here?
Yeah, no, thank you for listening to anyone
Thank
who's
you.
watching, listening.
Yeah.
Please, stay safe yourself and consider a go bag, and readying yourself in the case of some type of emergency wherever you live.
Yeah.
And I'm very sorry because Chuck would have normally had his 5 p.m.
Yeah,
live stream.
things happen.
Sometimes things do happen,
They just happen.
and honestly, the one fun thing is, like, I want to get excited. Like, I wonder why this is happening. Instead
Yeah.
of the Buddhists talk about that there is suffering in the world. There's a way to lessen it, and there's a way to end it. And one big sort of takeaway for me about that is non-reactivity. Of course, I can't gaslight my emotions. Like, we were walking, and I realized my car is not there.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to take a moment, like, my car is not there. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be expensive. Okay,
Yeah.
and that's true. And also, let me just breathe and, in a weird way, get excited, like knowing all my needs are gonna be met. I'm gonna be fine. I don't know how. I don't know why this is happening, but maybe just get. I used to work in a very creative modality called dream tending and deep imagination work. It's
Yeah.
post Jungian work, and you get curious. You kind of like look at everything almost like it's a dream, because really everything is a dream, whether you're awake or asleep. It's all one dreaming landscape, and just kind of seeing where the kind of like the breadcrumbs lead you, like you're in a mythological fairy tale, and seeing like, oh, we're now in the forest. Okay. Yeah, it's a little dark and spooky. Yeah, but okay, let's kind of, oh, look, there's a magical house, Okay,
Yeah.
but okay, it's a witch who wants to devour us. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so maybe I can, whether I come on with Chuck later this week or,
Oh, I wish you would. And it depends
'cause
on her work, but
yeah, but it could be interesting to see like what unfolds because of this experience today.
yeah,
It's
I think
unexpected and
I think
definitely expensive,
I
but
would love it if you could come on later this week. Her work schedule, it may not be possible, but yeah, it would be good to share these stories. I know usually I use this show to talk about old Hollywood and that type of thing, but well, this
well,
is present day Hollywood. This is Los
and
Angeles where we are right now.
yeah,
And a lot of profound life lessons are coming up. And, I don't even know if I'm going to have this home at the end of the week. I mean, I hope it's nothing as dramatic as that. But, um,
yeah,
you know, one of the problems, the embers, the winds, they carry those and they'll land on rooftops and stuff. I don't mean to present a doomsday scenario,
yeah,
but I guess I'm just trying to say we have to live in the moment and
yeah,
realize it can all go away, and we got to be prepared. And
and
we both will share what we
yeah.
know. And
Also, this is current day Hollywood, but we live in old Hollywood. I live in a house that was built
yeah,
for Hollywood at the inception of the industry in 1929. Chuck also lives in an older
my
place.
building was built, opened up October 1941. 2 months before World War II, Pearl Harbor. Yeah, October 1941. I've got wonderful Art Deco crown molding, an Art Deco fireplace, things like that. But where we live, this area, Los Feliz, is very much a an authentic old Hollywood suburb. You
Yeah,
know, a lot of silent screen stars lived here,
yeah,
some stars of the 30s. Well, we still have stars living here.
yeah,
It's an unusual neighborhood where it's a mixture of middle class and world famous.
yeah,
I don't know of anything like it anywhere in the world.
yeah.
And and of course other areas like Pacific Palisades, it's a little more, shall we say, exclusive,
Yeah, but keep in mind, again, like I said
I know,
earlier,
like she said,
it's
yeah.
mixed in with
Yeah.
apartment buildings, with normal houses or houses that have just been there for a while, and
Yeah.
people bought in when it was cheaper. And
Mhm.
it's it
That's right.
we are all that's one of the most unusual things about LA, is that everything blends in together. I mean, you can have somebody who's homeless, half naked, screaming, and then one
Yeah.
block later you have one of the wealthiest houses and most famous people in the world
Yeah.
living there, and then you have something in between that. It's and so many different racial, ethnic groups and backgrounds. It's a
Sure.
real
And
mixing pot
yeah.
here.
And you hear me talk about all the celebrities I've met in my work. Well, she's the same way. We both have met many celebrities who I
Yeah,
work through just
and
living
work
here.
with them.
And one of the things I can tell you is just so many of the famous people I meet have very good hearts. They're decent, caring
They're
people.
people just like you and
Yeah,
me,
just like
truly.
us.
I mean,
And they're very, it's
it's not
been my
nice to
experience
sex them
that they
with, but
remember their roots. They remember when they were waiting tables, when they were working retail and that type of thing. That's what I encounter a lot.
yeah.
And so my heart goes out to these people. A lot of people say, "Oh, you're living in a $15 million mansion." So, I mean, I don't feel sorry for you, but
But you're
yeah,
also only as good as the role that you got,
yeah,
because the thing is, it's not like a 9 to 5. You have no guarantee. You get a job on a set,
mhm,
doing whatever the heck you're doing, and the moment the movie or the
yeah,
commercial or TV show, whatever it wraps, you don't have
mhm,
a job.
yeah.
So
It's
you have to live off of hope that you'll get another one, or
sure,
that if you never work again and you
yeah,
never get called again, that you can live off of what you've built up thus far.
yeah.
So there's no guarantee.
My
So
cat's running
you
around.
definitely do need to it's very rare that somebody in in the Hollywood industry doesn't behave,
Mhm,
meaning they act as civilized as they can, even if they're recognizable to most of the world, and they have a
mhm.
different level of success in some ways than a lot of us do. But at the end of the day, they're just freaking human beings,
Exactly,
and they want to be treated
exactly.
that way, and they try and treat others that
I
way.
know.
It's rare that they don't.
Oh,
So
over here, on Facebook, I've been seeing these people saying, "Oh, this is God punishing Hollywood and all the liberals in Hollywood and Los Angeles." And I mean, some of them, I've responded back to you and said, "How could you be so judgmental and so hateful and so cruel?" Everybody's a human being. Everybody matters. A lot of people here are suffering and going through hard times,
yeah,
and it's a shame when people have to be judgmental like that, but I guess that's also human nature too. Um,
yeah,
but I'm seeing a lot of good here, just my neighbors alone, everybody pitching in for each other. Um, I have one of my friends is a celebrity, and I'm respecting her privacy. I won't give her name, but she was so sweet. Sent me a message last night. Just said, "I just want to make sure you're okay. I just wanted to check in on you. Do you need anything?" So you know that does my heart good, and it's rotten what's happened with your car here, but we'll see what the lesson is with that.
yeah.
And
So I'm curious.
and
Yeah, let's get curious. And
and I'm going to say this lady has done so much for me. She's been so good to me, and it's just yeah. So I'm not doing the show at 5, though I see it's almost 5 o'clock. Ironically, we've been talking that much, but yeah, I've got to be here for her right now. We got to go get her
yeah,
car. And
because what is a life without a good
yeah,
friend?
but she has just been such an angel to me. So good. Oh, okay. Stop.
Oh, tell me more.
Tell me
Tell
more.
me more.
Tell
Tell
me
me
how
more.
fabulous
Tell
I
me
am.
more. I'm so
Now we're acting more like Hollywood.
fabulous.
Tell me how fabulous I am.
I'm
No,
so,
but she is fabulous and she's beautiful. And the reason her car got towed is because we went out for a walk and stopped for coffee and just started talking and lost
track of
track of
time.
time. And then we walked back and said, "Oh shit."
Yeah, because you can't park certain places after a certain time, and I
Yeah.
would never have made that mistake. But I thought we were gonna
Yeah.
have a kind of a brief walk, and we
Yeah.
went on an adventure.
We went
So
on an adventure, and I guess the adventure is gonna continue,
yep,
and I hope that this is the only adventure. No winds and fires and 4 a.m. alerts, and I
yeah,
I don't know that I can take much more of that,
yeah,
but, we say we can't take this, but yet we see what we're made of, and
yeah,
we I guess one of the lessons, like what's happened to you, is we just have to ro I'm using a cliché, but roll with the punches, roll with it, flow with it, see
yeah.
where it's gonna go. I see we're almost at 5 o'clock here. I wonder if we should stay on for 2 more minutes
No,
just so I can say to people, "Okay, the show is ending. This is what's going on. No, thank you for tuning in," because I have people who always tune in at 5 o'clock. Um, I don't know. Anything else you wanna talk about?
I'm starting to get really nervous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have
We need to go.
yeah, I have
We
a
need to
deadline
go.
to go get my
Yeah,
car.
because I was looking at the time here it's 4:59 now. 1 minute.
I mean, I
1 minute.
guess
Okay. I maybe can we stay on 60 seconds longer and then we'll
we're gonna stay on 60
60
minutes.
oh, no,
No,
not that. We'll stay on
60
60 seconds
seconds
just for the
longer.
people who log in, so I can say not hello, but
Goodbye.
And goodbye. But
There's 25 minutes.
yeah, I can't believe, this was supposed to have been like a 2 or 3 minute message. I was just going to tell you we're not doing a show today. And well, you see my show normally. It started out being 30 minutes, and now it's rare I ever get off without an hour and a half because it's just easy to start talking. And this is something I've found that I love doing. I love doing this, frankly, more than doing the pre-recorded videos. And I'm doing one tomorrow with Whimsy, and there's another dear friend of mine. We're just in the planning stages right now, but we're thinking of doing another show. We may do that one pre-recorded, but it'll be another show
We
along
just
this.
hit 5 p.m.
And yes, we just hit 5 p.m. And so, that will be, I think the theme of that will be talking about our creativity, our art, our spirituality, which makes her perfect as a guest for us.
Like, that's my trifecta.
Yeah.
Art, spirituality.
Yeah, heart, spirituality, all
creativity,
that.
crazy, whatever fun,
Yeah.
imagination stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I hung on to 5 o'clock just in case anybody joins in to say, what the hell is going on here, Chuck? Why are you not doing your show? This is the reason. Again, I'm obviously safe. My home is not burned down, but it's a precarious week right now.
Yeah.
And I will try my best to do a live show later in the week and come up with your questions. Just fire them at me. Okay.
So much love to
so
everybody.
much love to you. Thank
Please
you.
Be safe
very,
out there.
very much.
And love the ones you're with, and give everyone a big
love the ones you're with.
and give everyone a big hug, because in this moment we're safe. And to those who aren't, may you please find safety and ease as soon as possible. We love you.
Love you too. We got to get this lady's car now. So I'm going to sign out for now. Hopefully I'll see you later in the week. Bye.